Listen. Masterpieces. Let me explain. Now, ever since we caught both of these at TIFF, Alina and I have been arguing about which one is better because, without a doubt, these are the two best movies we've personally seen this year, and we're nearing about like 600 new ones this year. The question just stands, which one is better? Now, I've already declared, and a month later still stand by Parasite being the best of the decade. Meanwhile, Alina swears by Portrait, even putting it above Midsommar, claiming that it's better than Parasite, and give it time, I'll get there. Then she forced me to record this bit so that she could edit it. Whichever you end up preferring, they're both great movies. I don't know what's going to break this cinematic trilogy for us so far this year, because it kind of seems like it's set in stone. But as for Portrait, I'll start with the endings, because it has three masterful ones. The one we get is a 9 out of 10, only because the one before it, when you see the is a 10 out of 10, and the only reason that one gets a perfect score is because the one 5 minutes prior to that, involving a gasp in the dark, is an 11 out of 10. I'm honestly scared to watch this movie again and fear that it dethrones Parasite, because it's second for me, but it's really close. The story revolves around a badass artist named Marianne who gets commissioned to paint a portrait for a marriage proposal. She goes off to this island, leaves her students and dope fireplace behind, and meets Eloise, the woman who refuses to get her portrait or get married. Now, both characters are badass to me. Like, you don't know much about them, and it's done on purpose, as you can see here, according to the director, but they're really freaking cool. So much is spoken through silence and subtle reactions that when they do speak, the dialogue feels like a volley where they take turns spiking each other in the face with comebacks. Not to hit the cliche, because it's in the title and everyone always says this about beautiful movies, but you could really pause any frame, print it out, and display it at an art institute. You know how in Pulp Fiction we don't even see the suitcase because, we'll take away from it? No, she shows you the portrait here, and I want to buy the damn thing. Luckily, this ain't A24, so, if they do announce they won't be out of stock before they reveal that it's even a thing. There are scenes that begin with the visual climax, where, most other films would use that visual to cut to the next scene. Nah, Céline begins hers with it. Céline seems to not even want to take credit for this, but she also does the costume designs, and, look at her. We know it's you. There's a point in the movie where they even bust out into this heavenly chorus outside, and I don't even know what better way to describe this experience than to let the director herself show you how impressed she was that she had to pat herself in the back for good reason.
This room is amazing. This is one of the most beautiful theater I've ever seen in my life. I've done the sound check in the afternoon and I was blown away by my own film, which means it's really, really good. The Room, I mean.
Now, I love the new Les Miserables. That has nothing to do with the musical per se, but the movie that's submitted to the Oscars by France, their official submission. I really want you guys to watch that one. I think it's a fantastic movie. But Portrait may be one of the best French films of all time. I think the Nocturnal put it best by describing this short period that explains who two women are at a time when they are expected to be seen and not heard. Something that even Céline says.
Not to do this biopic thing by taking one of the stars, didn't want to make this portrait of a strong woman, just wanted to make a portrait of a woman at work.
I can't wait for y'all to see this movie so that we can talk spoilers. I think it comes out in December. But the thing is, Alina keeps waking up every morning letting me know about the storytelling technique that wowed her so much. I've been hearing about it for a month and probably will continue to hear about it until the end of the decade. A work of art. It's better than Whiplash. I'm keeping this video brief, obviously for a reason, because I know most of you haven't seen it. It's just to add it to your radar. But if that phrase right there means nothing to probably half of you, it's probably because you haven't been following us since 2014 on the A to Z show, where I gushed about that being one of my favorites of all time. And you don't have to agree with me. I hate it when people think that reviewers or critics, whatever you want to call them, Yelpers, have to always agree with them, because, that's a little weird. You ain't looking for someone who's your soulmate. What you should be looking for is consistency. You don't want to follow someone who's naming every new installment as the best installment just for the clicks and then changing it later. What I'm telling you is that if my word means anything to you, I can guarantee you can go in overhyped for this movie and you'll still enjoy it. Hell, people were sending me plot points since this movie's been out overseas for a long time. They were sending me leaked links so that I can watch, and I was like, yo, y'all gonna get me in trouble. Let me wait till TIFF starts to catch it. And after having seen hundreds per year, thousands of movies ever since, you would know that I rarely, if ever, compare a movie to Whiplash, personally. So until November 1st spoiler video, I'll just say this. This is the best movie we've ever covered on our channels since we started. Discover it for yourself very soon. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. Like I said, this was a brief video. Didn't really want to put too much spoilers in it because I want you guys to go in and really enjoy these movies. I want to make sure they're on your radar. Maybe you won't love them as much as we do. That's okay, but hopefully you're able to check these out. Hopefully they play near you. I hate when they don't do that, which sucks, but I'm curious to know which movies are on your radar that you want to mention to us. As you guys know, every year, I always say my favorite film festival is Sundance because it produces my favorite movies of the year. That's been pretty consistent since 2014 when Whiplash came out. But this year, you guys know I always make a video around August, September talking about my favorite movie of the year. And I always say, I was like, I'm calling this one my favorite movie of the year, making a video on it. But if it changes, that's fine. I want to put it on your radar, but if it changes, good. If there's a better movie than my favorite movie, let's go. I was about to release the Loose video, kid you not, and then we had made it to TIFF, and I saw this one, literally deleted an entire edit that we worked on. Not that I don't like Loose, still really much love Loose, but Parasite is the best of the decade in my opinion. Portrait's right up there. Please watch Uncut Gems. Whole TIFF video coming very, very soon. Just waiting on some things to clear for that. But I'm very curious to know your thoughts. If you've been to these festivals, what are some of the movies that we've missed? Let us know so that they're on our radar. But you'll see our entire TIFF video coming very soon. Until then, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Or you're just a painter, not an artist.